Is that sign?
This feels a little... There we go. I'm not a talented videographer by any means, but in order to transmit my life online, I must use technology and hardware and creative tools that I may have been resistant towards because I assumed I wasn't a creator. I was more of a builder. But when I built without creating and being an artist and just with part of me and relied on others outside myself, I became dependent. I became a little bit skewed in my perspective, imbalanced in my understanding, and abilities began to lag. And my businesses kept failing. And I was like, I'm talented, I'm smart, I'm dedicated, I'm willing to work hard, I'm grinding, I'm tired. I put everything into these things, but then they keep failing. But I see these like moments of success and moments of breakthroughs, and people make money for a moment. But what is it, And so coming out of Web3, 3 years of just deep work, quit social media, over 3 years ago at least. But just going into a different alternative life where I wasn't using the same tools as people, but I was trying to create the ones that I knew I needed to grow and to finally call myself out on where I was being stagnant. I was using social media for things that weren't helping me and my soul and my destiny. And I was using other vices for the same reason. And so I finally came to the conclusion that I need to just start breaking through these vices and filling those spaces with virtue and just become more honest with myself and who I am and what I want, who I wish to become. And through that level of honesty and accountability and trial and error and iteration comes growth and understanding. And I got a wider lens and a broader view of life. So in a way, I raised my awareness. So now I can go into situations and not get upset as much, or I can come to a baseline quite quickly, if not even prior to the situation, because I've tried to begin learning like things that trigger me, and what are the roots of those triggers, and how do I work with them and befriend them and optimize or even use them to my advantage. So how do I care for the entire self? If I'm going to develop the self, who is the self? What is the self? How do I develop the self? If I don't know what it is, how can I care for it? How could you be a shepherd if you didn't know what the difference between a sheep and a deer was? You'd be chasing the deer thinking you were responsible for it. And so many other things if you didn't have an understanding. And so think about the self. I think about the aspects of self into quarters and subsets. So basically it's mind, mission, skills, systems. I have a mind. My mind has thoughts. I have an awareness of thoughts. I have awareness of an ability, an operation of a body. And I exist in an environment and a multitude of environments. I have a mission, I have an intention, I have a vision, I have a purpose, and I take action. I have skills, I have foundational skills, technical skills, and the ability of mastery, which is the development of skills. And I have systems. I have systems that are productive, creative, and I have the means of being consistent or inconsistent to digress, stagnate, plateau, or progress. So this is me, and I can fit everything into those many parts. So inside of skills is foundational, inside of that is business, inside of that is every skill in business. Health, body, inside of body, that specific body system, that specific organ, that specific practice or modality or supplement. So I built this sort of accordion framework, this documentation subset within some templates, within some software, and just within the frameworks of my own life. And I have found amazing success. Business and the aspects of making my company successful, I'm still in the middle of, and I feel like it's supposed to be hard. I feel like that's just what I instinctively feel I'm destined for, is it's gonna feel like I got my ass kicked in the ring, but I'm gonna come out the other side, and I'm probably gonna be very successful and wealthy. But the part that I'm really excited about is like, I just need the tangible proof that my plan worked. Because if that's true, that's beautiful. And I love that. It makes me feel like life is a game and there's meaning before, during, and after it. So anyways, that's what I've been thinking about a lot. And someone's coming in. We'll talk more next time. So people came in and I started to feel nervous, but then I realized I just need to get this video done. So anyways, I've been using Typo for just like everything from journaling on My Day, which is like a little thing at the top. You can see there's like a little component at the top to always access your day. And then the last recent pages that you've accessed are here. And then you can access the favorites, pinned pages, and then you can access all the pages that were created on your profile. Soon you'll be able to sort these, and you'll also be able to access all the pages in your notes. And inside of these pages can be complex and deep workspaces or diaries or journals, but it all pins back to your profile. As you can see here, this is kind of like your home page, where you can share primary things and then lead people out. So you can think of this almost like a link tree or a profile in one. And then you have your My Day, and then you have your pages on your profile and your notes, and your recents feed. Eventually we're gonna have a feed to share posts with each other, follow each other. And there'll be a camera, a mobile app, a desktop app. We'll have a bunch of features and updates. And we're doing that now, but we're a small team of 3 right now. But eventually we'll have 30 developers. And so we're excited to be where we are. It's been 3.5 months, I think, roughly. And that's another reason why I haven't been making any videos, is like just devoting all my energy to the projects that are currently at hand, which is, getting myself to a place where I can build stability and revenue, and also a product that works, that I love and others love. And we're almost there. So my goal is to have $5,000 to $10,000 a month in revenue within a week, and I'll track that and basically explain how I do it, and then hopefully it's something that you guys can repeat too. So yeah.